Hello Sagittarius, this is a timeless tarot reading for you. I am using my own tarot cards and your reading feels a bit weird to me, a little bit confusing, but actually all the readings that I recorded today, they had like two opposing energies. I don't know what's going on today. Date of recording is the 22nd of January 23, but that doesn't mean that this reading has to resonate with you right now. At this day, it could also find you several months, weeks, years later. And the reading starts off very, very positive. There is a sincere and very stable growth. There's something very fertile, very abundant, very firm. It's not this it's not a kind of abundance that you receive by coincidence or by following a trend, because you're doing what is in right now and that makes you successful, or it's a very stable kind of abundance that comes from a very deep level, and it can't be shook easily. Actually, it looks as if it can't be shaken at all, like no one can take that away from you. It's so strong, and it has a really, really proper foundation. Sometimes someone's success, or it doesn't have to be a professional financial success. It can also be a successful relationship that seems to be successful because two people are young and they have the same ideas in their head. They're following the same trends, but as they mature, suddenly they drift apart and they become two opposing individuals, and it's just not built on a proper foundation. But what I'm seeing here in the beginning of the reading is built on a very proper foundation. And in one of my previous readings that I recorded earlier this day, there were also a lot of positive cards, but I immediately felt that this is not very stable and that there was something tricky about it. But in your case, like the first four cards that I laid out, there was a deep trust that this is all genuine. These energies, they are very true. You have abundance, growth, day, and stay. I'm not going into these cards in each of these cards very detailed now, because I don't feel it's necessary. It also feels like not only being abundant in one part of your life, it feels like it's somehow there's a very strong and stable kind of joy building up in many areas of your life. It's also a very kind of humble abundance. Let me just take this abundance card. I drew this card not with a lot of money in it. I mean, money is important. We need it in our society, in our world. That's how we secure our physical existence, and there's nothing wrong with that. So money is one aspect of abundance, but we don't have to be like millionaires or billionaires. It's enough to have enough anytime we need something and we get it. That's abundant. So I didn't draw this abundance card with like billions of dollars. I just drew a few coins and, a cup of coffee, flowers, fruits, some candies now and then in a healthy way, the sunshine, and we also need some rain so that everything can blossom and grow. It's a very humble kind of abundance. And it's built on a solid foundation, which is also shown by the growth card, by this tree, by the day card. And here this card stay. You build something that can last, that can stay in your life. And it could be a relationship, as I drew it on this image. But then we suddenly shift into some other cards. And in my logical mind, I was like, no, suddenly it doesn't look so good anymore. Like, and I was thinking, like, maybe this abundance is still a little bit tainted by something unhealthy. But actually it's not. And it just didn't make sense to me in the beginning why these cards, imagination, black magic, and manipulation, are showing up. Pregnancy is actually also quite positive card, and it suits the cards in the upper row. Pregnancy could mean a little literal pregnancy, but I don't feel that this applies to everyone. I think for most people it's just a metaphor for the abundance that is in the first row, that is already growing and that's already very stable. Like there is something else that wants to grow in your life. You might be waiting for something. Maybe you are already in the process of receiving it, but it still has to grow inside of you. And it's not there yet. I mean, it is there somewhere, but it hasn't fully developed. Just, you know, like a baby. The baby already exists in the womb, but it hasn't come out of the womb. So it is there, but it's like it's not yet fully developed. And it can't exist on the physical realm by itself already, because it still has to grow. And I feel as if this additional thing that wants to come into your life, that is still in the process of growth, there is something about it that you're not seeing. Something about it is being... Oh, now I'm slowly starting to get it. I think you are supposed to receive something that could actually be ready to be born. And you think it is not ready yet. It cannot come immediately. It still has to ripen, but it doesn't. And the fact that you are thinking it is not ready yet to come into your life is because there's someone or something, some energy in your life that is making you think that. That's why this black magic and manipulation card, those two, I think this could even be several people. Two people. I'm feeling two different energies that are slightly working against you, that don't want you to receive this thing. And in a previous reading, I strongly felt it has something to do with envy, but in your reading, it's not actually envy, it's something else. I feel as if there could be people around you who are scared to lose you or lose the energy that they can withdraw from you. As soon as you receive this thing, you might detach from them, and they don't want that. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm also seeing that you are not aware of that. And it's not a huge, tremendously evil manipulation. It doesn't have a huge impact on you. It's just because you already have built all this for yourself. And to me, it seems as if you're like this guy in the picture. You're overdoing it. You're putting in so much work and effort, waiting for it to come into your life, still thinking it's not ready. You have to put more and more and more work and effort into it, not seeing that there's this little demon flying above you, throwing more and more dirt in front of you, and you thinking you still have to clean up these energies, you still have to do the work, when actually it is already time for it, whatever it is, to come into your life. I hope that makes sense somehow. At the bottom of the deck there is the Knight card. I think it just stands for, it just reflects again that you are not aware of all this. You're not aware that the time is ripe. And you're not aware that something or someone is manipulating you receiving this, you giving birth to this, still imagining, dreaming about how it would be when you receive it, when you actually could have already received it. So it's just like a blind spot in your head. Below this Knight card we have totality and God and awake. Positive cards, like really ultimately positive cards. But I think there is truly a kind of blind spot that you have to become aware of. And I don't think it's a big deal. It is really, it's probably someone who is always playing quite humble in front of you, someone who appears to be very innocent, but actually they're a tiny little devious creature. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not a very dangerous energy. It can't cause a tremendous harm, but it creates this blind spot. And I just have to say it again, I think you really don't expect this from this person. Like, you are already fine with all of this, and you are happily waiting and waiting, still doing your work. But it's time to receive it, and you are actually really not aware of that. And I have there is no clue in this reading to give you any advice who this person could be, or how you could figure out who that is. I really have no clue, no advice for you, nothing. It's just a truly huge blind spot. And now I'm inwardly laughing a little bit because it's really tiny. It's just imagine taking a photograph of the sun. The sun is a huge thing, but when you try to put your camera and make a picture of the sun from far away, you could, with one fingernail, you could block the whole sun from the picture. You know what I mean? I mean, just imagine your fingernail in comparison to the sun. In reality, your fingernail could not cover the whole sun. But if it's, oh my God, I feel like I sound so stupid. If it's far away and you're trying to take a picture and you just hold your finger in front of the lens, You are capable of blocking the whole sun, not literally, but in a photograph. And that's what this person is doing. Like, this person is actually so small and powerless, but somehow it is capable of causing this huge blockage and blind spot in your head. And there's nothing more I can tell you about it, sorry. I think you have to figure that out on your own, or it will just come to you somehow. Like, and then you will realize you can snip it away just very effortlessly. I'll leave it here. Thank you for watching.